How's everybody doing out there? Um, Welcome to Mandela Effect, Operation Mandela Effect Outreach. My name is John Thomas. I've been covering the Mandela Effect for since 2018, trying to do my best. There's a lot of shills. They want to shut people down to talk about it. Um, there's a lot of controlled opposition, and what they want to do is they want to make us look crazy. They want to make us sound like we just jump on any conspiracy. We all think that every celebrity's, a gender invert or a reptilian. We believe in any and everything, little metaphysical, hooey and whatever. That's what they want to make us look like. That's what controlled opposition does. And what we have here today is a prime example of what has taken this whole world by storm. Because I, I call the thing Jerusalem effect. That's what I like to call it. Uh, People that don't know my story, and this will tie in to these people I'm talking about, these Hebrew Israelite movements. These people are backed by the government. They're it's just a trap. It's a huge trap, and what they want us to do is fear these terrorists. That they know the Bible. These guys from this GMS stuff, they they believe that they have the 100% truth. 100%. Only them. Um, you'll notice that these people will be everywhere soon and have exploded recently. That's because they're being pushed. They're being pushed on social media. They're going to be recognized mainstream, no doubt, very soon. They're going to. You'll probably see Jews in Israel apologizing to them and everything, acknowledging them. And their thing is that all white people are Esau. White people are Esau, and they're the Israelites, the Canaanite loving Israelites that are in the camp of David, and they've come to punish us all. We're Amalek, just like the Jews of Israel will tell you, or the land of Israel. America's Amalek, and we're going down. Now, the Hebrew Israelites will tell you that the Jews of Israel are their Amalek too. But we're also Amalek, and we're Edom. But as long as those Amalekites in Israel will sacrifice this place to them, they'll work with the Amalekites. As long as the Amalekites will offer other Edomites up as an offering. So this is what we're dealing with. They believe that they had to worship Molech. Now, get this part. Now, you're not going to get this just from them. Jews in Israel will tell you the same thing. They had to worship Molech. They had to serve the Canaanites, or else Moses' words of Deuteronomy would be lies, and he would be a false prophet. And the reason that they wanted this prophecy of Deuteronomy to come true is because they think that if they get in trouble with God, then God will punish them using Esau, but then Esau will get in trouble for having been God's instrument of punishment. Now, try to get that through your head. They say that Esau was born for God's wrath. Not even Canaan did Moses tell us that Canaan was born for God's wrath. He said that it was because of the things that the Canaanites were doing. The Canaanites are the people God told Israel to eliminate. They were homosexuals. They were sodomites. In fact, Sodom is in Canaan's territory. That was a Canaanite town. They were vampires. They ate children. They tortured people. They did all sorts of weird incest with their mothers and sisters and all sorts of other things that was forbidden on top of being homosexual. So these were like cross-dressing vampire queers to get an idea of what you're talking about. Even these people, God didn't say he made them for their wrath, for his wrath. Okay, they're following false prophets, and every last one of the prophets have been false. God has been mocking us since Deuteronomy and even before. And God willing, I'll get that through everybody's uh, live stream soon, and you'll see I'm going to break it down. Then they believe that after God, you're saying, well, John, what does this have to do with the Mandela effect? This all ties in. It's God doing the Mandela effect. It's God that's mocking mankind, but he had to. It's because we're mocking children every day. We're deceiving children. We're mocking them. In order to judge them, we lay stumbling blocks for our brethren because we're doing what these GMS people call left-handed operations. That means that you're being a devil for God in their eyes. Now, the laws of God say, do not lay a stumbling block. And when the Moabites tried to lay a stumbling block for the Israelites, what did God say about that? They assailed you with trickery. He didn't like it at all. He doesn't like people that make war by deception. He's not the God of Jacob. Let me repeat that. God is not the God of Jacob. He'll be the God of Israel, but he won't be the God of Jacob, because Jacob means supplanter. Jacob means deceiver. And what we were told is God said, no longer will your name be called Jacob, but Israel. But these people, they pride themselves in being called Jake. Jake is what they like to be called, short for Jacob. Their baseness has played God false. That's why he's mocking us now. And it most certainly is God who's doing the Mandela effect. Going back to why I call it the Jerusalem effect. In 2014, now this is important, especially to these GMS people, because they think that soon they're going to have so many women that, the powers that be, they understand that the powers that be are backing them. They understand that. That they're going to have so many women that 7 women will take hold to one man and say, we will provide our own food and clothing, but let us only be called by your name and take away our shame. That's Isaiah 4, verse 1. That's how it reads now after the Mandela effect or the Jerusalem effect. That verse should say 6 women. I know because I used to repeat it for years and years and years. I used to be a polygamous advocate. I was never as bad as these guys here at GMS about their hatred of women. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Now, I did used to say that our poor girls, they were the problem. I used to say that a whole lot more than I do now. Now it's all our fault. If they've gone bad, if we've conceived them wrong, it's because of us. We lack leadership, and we don't even deserve them. That's the real truth. But now these people will go on telling you about Isaiah 4, verse 1. That they're going to have 7 women. That verse should say 6. I was in Jerusalem in 2014 during the Feast of Tabernacles, trying to keep the feast. Of course, I couldn't because, the tabernacle and everything, there has been no priest, thanks to people like David and others that dismantled the tabernacle and done away with the priesthood, started wearing the ephod themselves, fired the high priest like David did. David just decided he didn't like the decision of the high priest, installed Zadok instead. So, thanks to people like them, the world is confused, deadly confused. But, anyways, here I was, Jerusalem, 2014. This is October. And, long story short, I'm trying to show this verse to a guy. I walk over, I get my Bible, I find the verse, there it is, 6 women, everything's fine. And the time it took me to walk over and point, and I'm showing him the verse because he doesn't believe this is in the Bible. We're at a hostel, the new Swedish hostel in Jerusalem, when this happened. And it's late at night. And I'm pointing at the verse for him. It doesn't say 6 women now. It changed to 7 women. I mean, that fast. By the time it took me to walk back over to my Bible has changed. Now, everybody's going to say, John, that's maybe you're misremembering. You don't know what you're talking about. Krazy is as Krazy does. All this stuff. No, it's 6 women. It's always been 6 women. And these people here are a prime example of what God's doing to the world in the Jerusalem effect. Everybody's focused on Jerusalem. Jerusalem should be a pile of rubble, guys. A pile of rubble that should not be inhabited, according to Deuteronomy, the book that these people love. According to Deuteronomy, when Israel worshiped gods in a city inside the land of Israel, the punishment for that was you had to destroy that city. It's just a pile of rubble that's no longer to be inhabited, never again. Now we know Jerusalem fits that bill. There, Solomon worshiped Moloch, built a great altar to Moloch, basically a live abortion clinic for like 2 and 3-year-old babies, where you would throw them in the fire and do all sorts of good things. He did that for every one of his wives. Remember, Solomon married hundreds of Canaanite women, hundreds of women that were vampiric, had homosexual relatives, and worship Moloch. Hundreds, guys. This is who this group is saying, and not just them, it's everywhere. They believe that Yahushua, also known as Jesus to the rest of the world, was Solomon. So they worship Solomon. Let me repeat that. These people worship Solomon, a man whose number of tribute was 666, who tried everything under the sun, he said. What would that mean? Everything under the sun. Drinking blood, homosexuality, you name it. He said he did it. But that's okay because he's Solomon. Now, one thing you'll find about these people is that, now I'm not trying to turn people racist here. In fact, it's just the opposite. Here you're going to see that they're mocking this fellow here who's trying to do what they do, trying to identify as an Israelite and live up under their doctrines. He's just tired of only their elders, their controlled opposition, their Prince Hall elders know anything. Um, so this isn't about let's all hate the black people or the people of color. Uh, anyways, getting back, what you're going to find from these people is that they believe in reincarnation, and and this is the same thing the Jews will tell you in the land of Israel. Um, we're all reincarnated spirits of iniquity. Some of them, they were at Mount Sinai, of course, but everyone else, we're all just people that did wrong things to them. So God's prohibition of not punishing children for the sins of their fathers, they're against that. Not punishing the fathers for sins of the sons, and likewise, they're totally against that. That goes out the window for their tradition of reincarnation. These people believe that they were slaves. They came over chained to the bottoms of boats, and that we did that to them. You can't, even if your family never owned slaves, you can prove it. On my mother's side, uh, I have a great grandfather who was a huge, well-known slave abolitionist. They didn't ever own any slaves. On my father's side, we didn't have slaves. We were one of the poorest people that ever came over here to this country. And our family, they were. It was our tradition. You didn't leave the farm. I mean, you didn't leave the farm unless you were told you could. So basically, we enslaved our own. Is it going to matter to these people? No. We did that. We enslaved them. Don't matter if you can prove we don't have no slaves. Didn't have. It's not us, dude. It don't matter to them. You done it. You're probably an Amalekite that attacked him in the desert. Now, they're fierce about this. That means that all the reparations are owed to them. All the, suffering, even though a lot of them are, I mean, Gen Z that are talking about what you all did to me. The baby Obama boomer types that, you know what I mean, was bouncing around raving rainbow flags and stuff just a few years ago. And now they're on their trip about they're the Israelites and the world enslaved them. Israel went after Canaan. Okay? They ganged up on everybody with the help of their Canaanite friends since the time of David. And it even goes back further. If you look at Joshua gave away Benjamin's territory. Day one, the Benjamites had no territory given to the Hivites. And these people will say, well, they tricked them. They tricked them into a covenant and they had to honor it. Tell that to the Midianites that the Israelites slaughtered. They didn't have to honor shit with them, did they? Excuse my language. No, that's not the way God works. You can't make an oath to him that's unlawful. I can't say, I swear to God, you know what I mean? I'm going to go kill my parents. And then I got to do that now. Or I'm going to get in trouble. You're going to get more trouble for making an unlawful vow. But let's get into this video because there's going to be more to come about these guys, I'm sure. Uh, you got to remember, they're one of their main um, key point about why they can do everything is we're all reincarnated. And these people don't just want to kill Esau. They want God to reincarnate us over and over and over as their slaves if they do whatever they like to because of what we did to them. This is what they're teaching these people. Not just kill us once. They want us reincarnated over and over and over until, and to, no doubt to sodomize us, drink our blood and everything else just like a Canaanite because they have Canaanites in their ranks. You're going to find that out. These people are into justifying anything and everything as far as pretending that they've got payback coming. And they don't know nothing about. These guys don't even know nothing about being those guys in the 60s. They're so far removed that they know nothing of being these people. Even their main apostle Tahar here knows nothing of it. He's just a come lately clout chaser. Now let's get into this video.
Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Hashem, Shai Hashem, Makakadah, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle the video, Crazy Is as Crazy Does. This dude thinks he's the Apostle John. And he says it right around here, a little further in, right about here, 8 minute 51, 9 minute or so. He pretty much gets on myself and the other apostles, and I'm listening. I'm the Spirit said, just keep listening, just keep listening. Then all of a sudden, matter of fact, I'm gonna play it. But rivers of living water. This is John, by the way. Right? My message is to GMS. Anyway, he made a statement within this 8 minute, 9 minute segment that if I said you can commit adultery one time, that the members of GMS will follow. That no, they would not. No, they would not. We're not IUIC. But what made me get out off the couch, because I was laying back, it's after 11, almost 11:30, is when he said, "I'm John, you man." Matter of fact, let me go ahead and play it. You're gonna always have bug outs.
This guy here, he's not lying. If Apostle Tahar said they could do whatever, the cult members of GMS will justify it because their apostles, only their apostles, has the 100% truth. Not a little bit, not this as good as you're going to get. 100% truth is the brainwash that they're under. This guy's not lying. They will do whatever their apostles tell them. All you got to do is bring a precept, and like they like to put it, and that's that. They'll be so excited, their assholes so tickled about what God wants them to do, and there will. They follow the Apostle Paul, the biggest shill to have ever come onto the scene. It's so laughable. They're of the priesthood of Melchizedek from the book of Hebrews. Likes to teach them. So basically, what they are is they're Christians that no one else gets to be a Christian except for them. No one else gets to follow the Apostle Paul. When they start talking about the laws of God, that could mean anything, but it doesn't mean the law. because Paul told them that's not important. Their rights as Israelites, but they're lawless, Canaanite loving. I mean, there's nothing else to say, but this guy's not playing. Say that's what they'll do. That is what they'll do. Let's get back into this video.
I think it's right about here. Listen up, listen up.
To be quite honest, because I know I'm John, but I'm not trying to put myself over y'all because I'm John. I'm telling you I'm John. Now you might say I'm not. Swear that I'm not, because I swear that I am. Okay, the Lord showed me countless
Scripture says swear not on anything.
times. I wasn't even going to say that. I told myself, don't even say nothing about that. Spirit just jumped on me and made me say that. I know I'm one of the 12, and I don't be trying to exalt myself over brothers. I don't tell brothers, oh, you ain't no the 12. You ain't got no right to tell me this. No. But y'all have the attitude that, since you're an elder, you have the right to insult somebody because they haven't been in the truth as long as you.
And this guy's a complete bug out. But I caught up with it right about here. But you can watch it from the beginning. I don't let her watch this no more. Krazy is as Krazy does. This dude thinks he's John. When I say John, John the Apostle. So anyway, you can go to this video if you want. Rivers of living water. My message to GMS.
Do you see the arrogance there? They can for sure. This apostle Tahar can look at somebody, if he's black or colored or whatever you want to say. There goes Jake, he'll tell you. And it won't matter if he isn't Jake. He could, you know what I mean, or whatever, an Israelite. He just discerns from the spirit. He could be a Canaanite for all I know. Hell, he could be an Edomite. But he can, from the spirit, anytime he likes. And there's videos of him. People ask him, well, how do you know he's an Israelite? He did that through the Spirit. Spirit did it through faith. But what Apostle Tahar doesn't like is this guy doing the same thing. Because he's not going to recognize his authority. He's not the elder. It's so insane. But you're going to see these people have something to do with the Mandela effect, the Jerusalem effect. I'm all over the target here, and I'm going to be bringing up other people's that have things to do. But this is a big one, guys. We're not living in a simulation. It wasn't caused by CERN. None of that is the answer. God is doing it. CERN and the timelines and the alternative, this, that, and the other. I've heard these GMS guys espouse CERN as opening portals and demons, and they're also, I mean, what was the other one the other day that it's just sad. There's Project Looking Glass and all that stuff. Whatever comes down the pipe, they're swallowing it. They have it's not even 50% truth. It's so sad. That's not what's happening. We're not in an alternative universe where it's a near copy to ours. What about all the flip-flops? Things going back and forth. Are we switching back and forth? If we destroyed our universe when CERN came on, how come things have changed back and forth? Oh, well, they're doing it. They ain't doing it. They need the Bible. They need you to believe in the Bible. They need you to believe that, Canaanites are going to rule with David, and Edom is going to, all this other just pure bull. They need that. They wouldn't touch their Bible. Trust me. They need you to believe it's infallible. There's nothing wrong with it. God is showing you, yes, there's something wrong with the Bible. And I know who I was trying to serve, and I know who showed me. He sent an angel to help me understand. And so you can believe that if you want, but I'm going to be posting changes that I know no one has ever talked about, that I know are changes. And when they flip-flop back, take it from John Thomas, I'm telling you right now, it's going to change back. The things are going to change back, and these liars are going to be caught and exposed in the trap, especially the ones that are saying it ain't happening. It's going to be bad, guys. This is God's trap for liars. They're going to say, well, if God lied, I don't like him. We're mocking children. Again, who's left to mock us? It's going to take someone who's above them, that they think they're so smart, and they're being played. No, God is doing right. He's not doing wrong. He's treating these people like the deceivers they are, and they're drinking the cup that they poured. But yeah, I'll be posting a long list of changes, not just Fruit of the Loom or Berenstein Bears. That's not how I learned that this changed. Just like I told you, I was in Jerusalem, found my verse. Few steps later, boom, I'm looking at something impossible. I've known what this said, and even found residue that it was 6 women. I'll try to share that. I hope it don't get taken down. But these people come up, these GMS and all them. It's just mind-blowing to me that that's the verse that I first realized that it changed. And that verse is a key part of their doctrine. And it ain't just the GMS people. It's the Canaanite Jews and the land of Israel too. A lot of those are just Canaanites, guys. If you don't like the world and you're saying Israel, stop saying Israel. Israel is one man. Israel didn't do any of this. Israelites did it, and they're Canaanite lovers. That's who done this. You're going to find that half of those guys are Canaanites. But you don't care because I don't want to pronounce that on people, but most people don't care because they think they've got covenants with Canaanites, covenants that they must keep, like giving away Benjamin's land to the Hivites, like David did, and other things. Not David, like Joshua, and David reaffirmed that covenant by having Saul's sons impaled as reparations to the Canaanites. Think about that. The Benjamites are living in a territory with the people that don't have to follow the laws of God because they're not even allowed to be in covenant with God. The only thing they have to do is keep on preying on the Benjamites. That's the only thing they have to do. And wouldn't you know, by the time of Saul, Benjamin's the smallest tribe. You've got a protected people that if you try to get rid of them like Saul was doing, here comes your family members to stop you. They've got a covenant with those criminals. Now let them do what they like, as long as they're doing it to you. Let that sink in. Does that sound like anything you know, where people can go marauding through the streets and stealing whatever they want, and you've got a regime that just lets them? Think about how that makes you. What kind of black fatigue you get there. Think about Saul living with homosexual vampires in his territory from the day he woke up. They were there. And wasn't allowed to do anything about it like God told him, because you're going to have David and the rest of the Israelites handing your sons over to be impaled. We know nothing of black fatigue. This is what black fatigue really looks like. But GMS is doing a pretty good job of showing us, you know what I mean, what it, is kind of like. You and I, we're going to get throttled. We're going to get shadow banned. Not these guys. These guys are not being shadow banned. They're not being throttled. He talks about IUIC. That's another group. I've confronted them going back in 2011. They begged me to leave. Begged me, guys. They just stopped acknowledging I was there. That's how bad it was. They couldn't even, there was nothing left to say. They were just simply lawless liars. I mean, that everybody else, they keep, where you going? Where you going? Not John Thomas. They wanted me out of there. We had a reporter come up skateboarding on a skateboard, start taking pictures of the whole scene. Like, this was downtown Dallas. No, these people aren't coming from nowhere. They're backed, they're funded from the Prince Hall Lodge. Prince Hall is all Solomon and Canaan. Try to get into the Masons and say something about Solomon. Try to, even if you're just trying to be their friend, like, maybe it ain't the things that they are saying ain't so bad. Maybe they can help you make the world better. You have powerful international friends or whatever. You can't do it if you're not into Solomon. They're all about Solomon. So are these people. That's where they're coming from. I've even heard these people defend the lodge. So this is not a small thing. If you're thinking, well, John, these are just some guys. They're not just some guys. No, this movement's been building for a while now. They're instruments. And we're a sacrifice for people like them. We'll have to cut her short there. Everybody have a good rest of your day.